Hello, good morning guys. I am Kshitij Patham and in today's lecture we are going to discuss fundamental forces in nature. So there are four fundamental forces in nature, namely gravitational force, weak nuclear force, strong nuclear force and electromagnetic force. Apart from them, the work is going on the fifth force of nature, that is protophobic force. Okay, that is still in the nascent stage. With the time we will unravel the fifth force of the nature known as the photophobic force. Now discuss four forces of nature one by one. So first thing first, we are going to discuss the gravitational force. So gravitational force is one of the weakest force in the nature. Okay, so whatever masses are there in the universe, whether that masses are celestial masses or terrestrial masses. Terrestrial means pertaining to earth and celestial means pertaining to space, universe. Okay, so whether they are celestial masses or whether they are terrestrial masses, they are going to attract each other because of the property known as the gravitation. Okay, so gravitational force is a force that binds us to the earth. Suppose we are going to jump from at our place. So if there is no gravitational force, the force that binds us to earth, that glues us to earth, so we are going to be thrown into the space forever. We are not going to return back. It is due to the gravity of earth we are going to return back to the place from where we took the jump. Okay, so now we are going to discuss gravitational force properties. First property is that it is a weak force. In fact, it is the weakest force among all the forces of nature. Okay, so and somebody may ask, up to what distance will the gravitational force will apply? So answer is gravitational force will apply up to infinity, but the magnitude of the force will vary depending upon the distance between the two objects and masses of the two objects. So gravitational force is also responsible for many of the phenomena. Gravitational force is also responsible for many of the phenomena, like rotation of the moon around the earth. Mind it, the moon completes one revolution of the earth in 27 days and 27.3 days. It is taking 27.3 days to complete one revolution around earth. In the same manner, the earth is revolving around the sun. It takes 365.25 days. Okay, in the same manner, the sun is revolving around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. So it is all due to gravitation. The gravitation is due to presence of the particle known as graviton. Okay, graviton are the fundamental particles responsible for the gravity. There are many theories given to discuss the theory behind gravity, discuss the cause of gravity. The popular one are string theory and Einstein theory of the space-time. Okay, and Newton also gave one theory, so that we all have read in much depth in our 9th, and we are also going to read that in 11th class under gravitation chapter. Okay, so gravitation between two bodies is proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Okay, so gravitation is a weak force. In fact, it is the one of the weakest force in the nature, and gravitational force is also the central force. It applies along the center of the masses. And gravitational force is also having a property. Gravitational force is always attractive in nature. Unlike the electromagnetic force that can be attractive or it can be repulsive, but it is always attractive in nature. Gravitational force is always attractive in nature. It is a central force, it is a long distance force, and it is a weak force. It is gravitational force characteristics, and it also obeys inverse square law. Okay, so we are going to talk about the scientists known for their contribution in study of gravitation. So there are two main scientists. One is Isaac Newton, another is Einstein. So Isaac Newton, also known as father of the physics, during 1665 there was an outbreak of bucolic plague. Okay, during that University of Cambridge was shut down. So the Newton was having ample time to do his research work, and during 1665 Newton gave three path breaking theories, two in the field of physics and one in the field of mathematics. Actually in 1665 itself Newton started working on optics. So most of the work in optics can be attributed to Newton. Apart from that, Newton also started working on the idea of gravitation, law of universal gravitation. And regarding mathematics, the Newton gave the foundational work in the field of calculus. Okay, and Newton told the reason behind gravity is the force of attraction between two masses. But Albert Einstein was of different opinion. Albert Einstein told it is not due to force of gravitation. It is not due to the force of attraction between two bodies, but gravity is a consequence of objects bending space-time. Gravity is the consequence of objects bending space-time. That is the reason behind gravity. So, and this theory is also popularly known as Einstein theory of relativity, special theory of relativity to be more precise. Okay, so that is the gravitational force. Okay, now comes second weakest force, that is the weak nuclear force. See, name tells weak nuclear force, but don't get misguided by the name. It is still stronger than the gravitational force. In fact, the weak nuclear force is 10 to power 25 times stronger than gravitational force. Okay, so where will you find the weak nuclear force? We will find the weak nuclear force during decay of material. In fact, during beta decay we are finding the weak nuclear force, beta positive decay and beta negative decay. It can be observed on any material in time lapsed. Weak interaction is responsible for such phenomena as beta decay consolidated with electromagnetism as a single interaction called electroweak interaction. So what actually happens during beta decay? During beta decay, one quarks are the building blocks of electron. So electron, proton, electrons. So quark is flipping, and consequently one neutron turns into electron and an uncharged particle called neutrino. Means the neutron is breaking, neutron is getting converted into electron and neutrino. Okay, so weak nuclear force appears only in certain nuclear process such as beta decay of nucleus. So weak nuclear force is a short range force. Okay, unlike gravitational force and strong and electromagnetic force, the weak nuclear force is a short range force that is of order 10 to power minus 36 meter, and weak nuclear force is 10 to power 25 times stronger than gravitational force but weaker than electromagnetic force and strong nuclear force. Okay, so now we are moving to electromagnetic force, electromagnetism. So as the name suggests, electromagnetism can be broken down into two parts. One is electric, another is magnetic. So there is going to be an interaction between electric as well as otherwise as magnetic force. So what is going to happen? As we know that the moving charge produce magnetic field. Moving charge means suppose a current is flowing through a conductor, as was told in the Oersted experiment. It was told that current carrying wire produces a magnetic field around it. Okay, and magnetic field in turn exert a force on a current carrying wire. So there is going to be a mutual dependence on magnetic and electric force. So they are going to complement each other. There will be magnetic force due to electric force, and there will be electric force due to magnetic force. That's why together we are telling it electromagnetic force. So electric force and magnetic force both create electromagnetic force. Charge in motion produces magnetic effect, and the magnetic field gives rise to a force on moving charge. So electromagnetic force versus gravitational force. Let's find out the differences. So gravitational force is a long distance force, and these are the similarities. Gravitational force is a long distance force and electromagnetic force is a long distance force. Okay, both are long distance force. Okay, and both of them does not require any intervening medium. So that means even if there is no medium between two charges, or there is no medium between two masses. So two charges, in case there are two charges, those are having no intervening medium, still there will be electromagnetic force, and two masses are having no intervening medium, there will be gravitational force. Okay, now let's move to differences. So gravitational force is always attractive in nature. So two masses attract each other. Okay, so but whenever we are talking about electromagnetic force can be attractive as well as repulsive in nature. So when it will be attractive and when it will be repulsive. So there is a basic principle known as like repel, unlike attract. So means there can be two types of charges. One is the positive charge, other is the negative charge. So positive and negative will attract, positive and negative will repel. Okay, so now one of the very interesting question that pop up in the mind of the viewer is that if electromagnetic force is a long range force, okay, and electromagnetic force is stronger than the gravitational force, so why we don't observe electromagnetic force in our day-to-day life? Okay, so reason is that most of the terrestrial objects, almost all, are neutral. Most of the terrestrial objects are neutral, they don't carry any charge. And second reason is that we don't have high concentration of either Coulomb charges or magnetism way we do of masses. So there is difference between the signs of charges and signs of masses. Suppose there are two charges, plus 2 Coulomb and minus 2 Coulomb. So they are going to attract each other, but when they are going to come in contact with each other, they are going to neutralize each other. They will neutralize. Plus 2 and minus 2 will get added up and you will have zero charge. You have 0 Coulomb as the charge. But in case of the gravitation, suppose there are two masses. So when they are getting attracted, they will not neutralize each other. They will in fact do some sort of cascading effect. They will do some sort of cascading effect. Okay, so they are not going to neutralize each other like the magnetic charge. So we don't have the huge concentration of either Coulomb charge or magnetism way we do of masses. Now electromagnetic force is a strong force, and it is a strong force, okay, and it is of short range, okay, and it is 10 to power 36 times stronger than gravitational force. Okay, it is 10 to power 36 times stronger than gravitational force. So now famous scientists in the field of electromagnetism. Famous scientists are Hans Christian Ørsted. So Hans Christian Ørsted gave the theory of, in fact there are three effects of current. One is magnetic effect, other is the heating effect, and third one is chemical effect of the current. So Hans Christian Ørsted is the pioneer behind magnetic effect of current. He is the scientist who pioneered or who gave the experimental basis of the magnetic effect of current. Okay, so electromagnetic force acts between electrically charged particles have infinite mass, described by electromagnetic waves, acts through an exchange or mediation of particles along photons. Okay, so now let's move to strong nuclear force. Strong nuclear force is the strongest of all forces. Strong nuclear force is the strongest of all forces. In fact, strong nuclear force is 10 to power 38 times stronger than gravitational force. So what do you mean by strong nuclear force? What do we mean by strong nuclear force? Let's discuss it with the help of example. Take an helium atom. In helium, atomic mass is 2 and atomic weight is 4. So there are going to be 2 electron, 2 proton, 2 neutron. We have studied that electromagnetic force is there, and Coulomb force is one of the electromagnetic force. Coulomb force and magnetic force. Coulomb means, you know that in the nucleus there will be protons and electrons revolving around the nucleus. So electrons are negatively charged and protons are positively charged. So they both are going to attract each other. So why in nucleus? And apart from that, inside the nucleus you will have protons and neutrons. Protons is positively charged and neutrons are neutral. So protons should also repel each other and proton should also get attracted to electrons. So there must be some force to keep the protons glued in the nucleus, and that force need to be stronger than the electrostatic or Coulomb force, electrical force or Coulomb force. So that force is known as strong nuclear force. Means strong nuclear force means the force that keeps the protons glued to nucleus. So you know this force basically is the strongest force, but it is a short range force. Okay, short range in what sense? Short range means very small distance it is applicable. In fact, subnuclear distance. Okay, so the strong nuclear force is keeping atom in proper shape. Okay, so now we are going to discuss the fundamental interaction. Gravitational force is the weakest force and strong nuclear force is the strongest force. In fact, weak nuclear force is 10 to power 25 times stronger than gravitational force. Electromagnetic force is 10 to power 36 times stronger than the gravitational force, and strong nuclear force is 10 to power 38 times stronger than the gravitational force. Now range of the gravitational force is infinity. Weak nuclear force is 10 to power minus 16. Electromagnetic force range is infinity, and strong nuclear force range is 10 to power minus 15. Now mediator in gravitations are graviton. Weak nuclear force boson. Electromagnetic force photons, and strong nuclear force gluons. Okay, and they are, except strong nuclear force gluons, nobody is having the masses. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for your patient listening. Okay, I will come out with more videos in the future. Thank you.